So I'm going to be reading The Consequences of Disobedience. Whoop whoop. Oh, just kidding. No. That was my consequences of disobedience. There's a guard kind of spinky with the hand. Whap, whap. Okay. Now it shall come to pass, if you diligently obey the voice of the Lord your God, to observe carefully all his commandments which I command you today, that the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you, because you obey the voice of the Lord your God. Blessed shall you be in the city, and blessed shall you be in the country. Blessed shall be the fruit of your body, produce of your ground, and the increase of your herds, the increase of your cattle, and the offspring of your flocks. Blessed shall be your basket and your kneading bowl. Blessed shall you be when you come in, and blessed shall you be when you go out. The Lord will cause your enemies who rise against you to be defeated before your face. They shall come out against you one way and flee before you 7 ways. The Lord will command the blessing on you in your storehouses and in all to which you get your hand, and he will bless you in the land which the Lord your God is giving you. The Lord will establish you as a holy people to himself, just as he has sworn to you, if you keep the commandments of the Lord your God and walk in his ways. Then all the people of the earth shall see that you are called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of you. And the Lord will grant you plenty of goods in the fruit of your body, and the increase of your livestock, and in the produce of your ground, in the land which the Lord swore to your fathers to give you. The Lord will open to you his good treasure, the heavens, to give the rain to your land in its season, and to bless all the work of your hand. You shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow. And the Lord will make you the head and not the tail, and you shall be above only and not be beneath, if you heed the commandments of the Lord your God. If you heed the commandments of the Lord your God, okay, which I command you today, and are careful to observe them. So you shall not turn aside from any of the words which I command you this day, to the right or the left, to go after other gods or to serve them. But it shall come to pass, if you do not obey the voice of the Lord your God, to observe carefully all his commandments and his statutes which I command you today, that all these curses will come upon you and overtake you. Cursed shall you be in the city, and cursed shall you be in the country. Cursed shall be your basket and your kneading bowl. Cursed shall be the fruit of your body, and the produce of your land, the increase of your cattle, and the offspring of your flocks. Whoops. Okay. Cursed shall you be when you come in, and cursed shall you be when you go out. The Lord will send on you cursing, confusion, and rebuke in all that you set your hand to do, until you are destroyed and until you perish quickly, because of the wickedness of your doings in which you have forsaken me. This is really long. Okay. The Lord will make the plague cling to you until he has consumed you from the land which you are going to possess. The Lord will strike you with consumption, with fever, with inflammation, with severe burning fever, with the sword, with scorching, and with mildew. They shall pursue you until you perish. And your heavens, which are over your head, shall be bronze. Excuse me, my dogs are being retarded. Okay, let's see. Back to where I was. And your heavens, which are over your head, shall be bronze, and the earth which is under you shall be iron. The Lord will change the rain of your land to powder and dust. From the heavens it shall come down on you until you are destroyed. The Lord will cause you to be defeated before your enemies. You shall go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them. And you shall become troublesome to all the kingdoms of the earth. Your carcasses will be food for all the birds of the air and the beasts of the earth, and no one shall frighten them away. The Lord will strike you with the boils of Egypt, with tumors, with scabs, and with itch, from which you cannot be healed. The Lord will strike you with madness and blindness and confusion of heart. Confusion of heart, Does that not sound like that's going on today? So many people are confused. And you shall grope at noonday, as a blind man gropes in darkness. You shall not prosper in your ways. You shall be only oppressed and plundered continually, and no one shall save you. You shall betroth a wife, but another man shall lie with her. You shall build a house, but you shall not dwell in it. You shall plant a vineyard, but shall not gather its grapes. Your ox shall be slaughtered before your eyes, but you shall not eat of it. Your donkey shall be violently taken away from you, and shall not be restored to you. Your sheep shall be given to your enemies, and you shall have no one to rescue them. Your sons and your daughters shall be given to another people, and your eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all day long, and there shall be no strength in your hand. A nation whom you have not known shall eat the fruit of your land and the produce of your labor, and you shall be only oppressed and crushed continually. That's terrible. Continually? Woo! So you shall be driven mad because of the sight which your eyes see. The Lord will strike you in the knees, on the legs with severe boils which cannot be healed, and from the sole of your foot to the top of your head. The Lord will bring you and the king. Whoops. Hang on a second. This stupid dog. Okay. Where was I? Here we go. And you shall grope at noonday, as a blind man gropes in darkness. You shall not prosper in your ways, and you shall be only oppressed and plundered continually, and no one shall save you. You shall betroth a wife, but another man shall lie with her. You shall build a house, but you shall not dwell in it. You shall plant a vineyard, but you shall not gather its grapes. Your ox shall be slaughtered before your eyes, but you shall not eat of it. Your donkey shall be violently taken away from before you. I think I read this part already. And shall not be restored to you, and your sheep shall be given to your enemies, and you shall have no one to rescue them. Yeah, I read this part. Your sons and your daughters shall be given to another people, and your eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all day long, and there shall be no strength in your hand. A nation you have not known shall eat the fruit of your land and the produce of your labor, and you shall be only oppressed and crushed continually. So you shall be driven mad because of the sight which your eyes see. The Lord will strike you in the knees and on the legs with severe boils, which cannot be healed, and from the sole of your foot to the top of your head. The Lord will bring you and the king whom set you over you to a nation which neither you nor your fathers have known, and there you shall serve other gods, wood and stone. Kind of sounds like today. How many other gods do we serve? And you shall become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations where the Lord will drive you. You will carry much seed out to the field. Okay? But gather little in it, for the locusts shall consume it. You shall plant vineyards and tend them, but you shall neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. You shall have olive trees throughout all your territory, but you shall not anoint yourself with the oil, for your olives shall drop. You shall beget sons and daughters, but they shall not be yours, for they shall go into captivity. Locusts shall consume all your trees and the produce of your land. The alien who is among you shall rise higher and higher above you, and you shall come down lower and lower. He shall lend to you, but you shall not lend to him. He shall be the head, and you shall be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon you and pursue and overtake you, until you are destroyed because you did not obey the voice of the Lord your God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded you. And they shall be upon you for a sign and a wonder, and on your descendants forever, because you did not serve the Lord your God with joy and gladness of heart for the abundance of everything. What?
I was just talking to
Oh. Therefore you shall serve your enemies, whom the Lord will send against you in hunger, in thirst, and nakedness and the need
Where's
of
Uriah?
everything. I think she's in the room, baby.
Okay.
And he will put a yoke of iron on your neck until he has destroyed you. The Lord will bring a nation against you from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle flies, a nation whose language you will not understand. I don't understand this little weirdo. He's Cookie.
Actually, I am not.
You're not Cookie?
I'm not Cookie.
What are you?
Because I know more rhymes than she does.
Oh, okay.
Nursery rhymes.
Go ahead and give it to him. Give him a nursery rhyme.
Let's find one. Wait. Mary, Mary, quite contrary. I'll do a different one.
Time's up. Okay, go ahead.
Mary, Mary, quite contrary.
I thought you knew all these nursery rhymes. I know it. Mary, Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow?
Mary, Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? It grows with silver bells and cockled shells, and maids line and pretty maids in a row.
There you go. I thought you were going to find Sissy.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll send you a video on the hours Monica, I'll try to nicely say bye-bye. For a minute, please. Monica.
What?
Try to nicely say bye-bye so I can finish my video.
Oh. Bye-bye.
A nation of fierce countenance which does not respect the elderly nor show favor to the young. People are like that now. They're mean to the elderly and mean to the young. And they shall eat the increase of your livestock and the produce of your land until you are destroyed. They shall not leave you grain, or new wine or oil, or the increase of your cattle, or the offspring of your flocks, until they have destroyed you. They shall besiege you at all your gates until your high and fortified walls, in which you trust, come down throughout all your land, and they shall besiege you at all your gates through all your land which the Lord your God has given you. Okay, let me scoot this over here. Alrighty. You shall eat the fruit of your own body, the flesh of your sons and your daughters, the Lord your God has given you. That's happened in the past several times to a lot of different people. Yeah. In the siege and desperate straits in which your enemy shall distress you. The sensitive and very refined man among you will be hostile toward his brother, toward the wife of his bosom, toward the rest of his children whom he leaves behind, so that he will not give any of them the flesh of his children whom he will eat, because he has nothing left in the siege and desperate straits, which your enemy shall distress you at all your gates. Yeah, that's one of the things that a lot of people would do in war. It's starve people to death, and then there's nothing left to eat but each other. It's gross, but it's true. The tender and delicate woman among you, who would not venture to set sole of her foot on the ground because of her delicateness and sensitivity, will refuse to the husband of her bosom, and to her son, her daughter. Dang. Ew. Her placenta, which comes out from between her feet, and her children, whom she bears, for she will eat them secretly for lack of everything in the siege and desperate straits in which your enemy shall distress you at all your gates. It's true, this happened several times. If you do not carefully observe all the words of this law that are written in this book, that you may fear this glorious and awesome name, the Lord your God. then the Lord will bring upon you and your descendants extraordinary plagues, great and prolonged plagues. I kind of wondered if when COVID came around at first, I wondered if that was a plague, really. In serious and prolonged sickness. Moreover, he will bring back on you all the diseases of Egypt, of which you are afraid, and they shall cling to you. Also every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of the law, will the Lord bring upon you until you are destroyed. You shall be left few in number, whereas you are as the stars of heaven in multitude, because you would not obey the voice of the Lord your God. And it shall be that just as the Lord rejoiced over you to do good and multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and bring you to nothing, and you shall be plucked from off the land which you go to possess. Then the Lord will scatter you among all the peoples from one end of the earth to the other. And there you shall serve other gods, which neither you nor your fathers have known, wood and stone. Okay, I thought that was okay. And among those nations you shall find no rest, nor shall the sole of your foot have a resting place. But there the Lord will give you a trembling heart, failing eyes, and anguish of soul. Your life shall hang in doubt before you. You shall fear day and night and have no assurance of life. In the morning you shall say, oh, that it were evening. At the evening you shall say, oh, it were morning, because of the fear which terrifies your heart, because of the sight which your eyes see. And the Lord will take you back to Egypt in ships, by the way of which I said to you, you shall never see it again. And there you shall be offered for sale to your enemies as male and female slaves, but no one will buy you. So that's pretty bad. It's like, you'd be slaves, but nobody even want you. Normally people, especially back then, okay, would be like, oh yeah, we want, trying to get my paper, there, would want, slaves. Why hire somebody, you have to pay them, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, free labor, that's how they thought back then. That's what it was. So, but yeah, no, Israel, they had to do what God said if they wanted God's blessings. If they didn't want God's blessings, God's going to be like, okay, I remove myself. I don't know, just let havoc reign. And havoc will reign. So, but some of this stuff, is even fairly recent history, seems like. And some of the stuff, even seems like in today's world, confusion of heart, how many people are confused today over everything? I mean, really. It's like, you name it, they're confused about it. So, it just is. People don't know the left hand from the right hand anymore. They don't know. So, but it is what it is, So, anyway, if any of y'all know any more of the history, some of the Israelite history about this or anything, feel free to comment in the section below. Because I like to learn more stuff too. So, anyway, peace, face boogers, and YouTubers.